is Crystal with Pineapple Papers, and I have a design team project for Color Rush Studios. And I am also playing along with Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches, round 18. Today's sketch is from the Crafty Karen, which is Karen Adams Kidwell. And you can see it up there in the corner. When I saw this sketch, I immediately thought of this paper with all of these super fun rulers or tape measures or whatever you want to call them. And so I knew that's what I had to use. Now, I went into my stash and I grabbed this piece of cardstock. It's Coordinations in the color Jasper. It's from 2016. So it's like craft, but it does have a little bit of kind of shine to it a little bit. So I am starting with the strips of the rulers, and then I'm also cutting down some frazzle. And what you see me doing here is actually straightening out the frazzle. So, it is fabric, so it does kind of get wrinkly. And I just put a little water on my desk or spray it with a little bit of water, just a little bit, and it flattens it right out. And it dries fairly quickly. So no worries there. And so I'm going to kind of stick that frazzle in between the rulers. And then instead of one big 5x7 photo, I am going to use two. They were originally 4x6 photos. I do trim them down just a little bit of my great nephew. And I'm going to back them not only in some black cardstock from my stash, which apparently I did a terrible job on that one and cut it wrong. So I have to re-mat it. No big deal. It happens. And then I'm just doing a very thin black cardstock mat to these photos. And then I am also going to mat it in the tissue paper that came in the kit. I do love me some tissue paper. And one of the reasons that I picked these photos for this kit is because of the fact that he has a little football onesie or pajamas or something on, and there's a cork football in this collection, and I had to have it. So in the sketch, there is some mixed media, and I just kind of went a little crazy. So this is Tattered Angels coffee shop. And I just poured it on some packaging you see there, and just did some packaging technique behind where those photos are going to be. So quick little cleanup, and it doesn't take too long to dry. So I did go off screen and glue all those strips down and the frazzle. I figured you didn't really need to watch me do that. And then now I'm going to put my photos on top here, and I'm looking for a title. So she has her title in the left upper hand corner, but I really feel like the title needs to be right down here. And so I love this one. It says All Boy, but I'm going to come across another acrylic title piece that says Rough and Tumble. And obviously he's not rough and tumble right here, but I thought it went really good with his little football outfit. So I will switch that up here in a minute. Currently I have a couple of the arrows on here. So I'm going to do arrows and stars, and then I'm actually going to change my mind and take away the arrows and just do the stars. I thought the stars was kind of fun, like all-star football player kind of thing. But that'll happen here in a little bit. So that's why I had that one arrow So I had a couple of arrows. I also am pulling some stars from my stash, and I'm going to use one of the plaid ones, and then I'm actually going to use a corduroy one, and then I will bring in a couple of the star stickers. I bring in this yellow one, and the fabric one fits right on top of that, which I really love. So I will get to that. That's not happening just yet. Here's where I find that rough and tumble, and I move it up a little bit so it's kind of more on the photos, and then I'm going to put the football like next to the title. So here's where I'm just kind of playing around with all of the funness. And there is an acrylic star that's the same as the rough and tumble. So I decide to add that. Here's where I'm like, okay, I got to glue down my photos. Oh, I guess I hadn't added the tissue paper to it yet. Okay, so here's where I'm going to add the tissue paper, I guess. For some reason, I thought I did it right after, but as we can see, I did not. And the nice thing about this tissue paper is it makes it a little bit easier to cut in a straight line, because at least when you're going horizontal, because you have some lines to go with. So, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and map those photos, and then I can glue them down. I do decide to pop one of them up on foam. So the one of him sleeping, I'm going to pop up a little bit with some fun foam. I don't pop up the bottom of the layout for the fact that I want to put that acrylic piece down there, and I don't want it to be like half up, half down, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of put it more towards the top. And because there is some mixed media on the background, I decided to use my tape runner as well as my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. That way it sticks down initially, and then once the wet glue dries, it'll stick forever. Hopefully it'll live up to little fingers flipping through the album. So here's where I wanted to make sure that that bottom part was really kind of stuck down so that I can put the acrylic title there. And it looks like right now I still have these arrows, but here's where I'm going to take the arrows off and just replace them with several of the stars. So I get 3 clusters of stars, and then I am going to just add a couple of word stickers. This one says fresh since day one, which I thought that was cute, and then making moves, which I thought was cute because of the whole football theme. So I'm going to get that all glued down, and I'm going to realize that I have no idea where my little football is. So I'm actually going to show you the layout, and then I'm like, wait, where's my football? And I do end up finding it, I promise. And there it is. So it is down. We are good. I will have links to the shop down below so you can get your hands on these amazing kits. I will also have the playlist for 30 days of sketches so you can see what everybody else is doing. Here are a couple of close-ups, and remember to wear your crown, and I will see you later. Bye.